Salve amico, bentornato. Prima di iniziare con il video di oggi, voglio ricordarti di supportare il canale con un bel mi piace, cosa che mi aiuta a posizionare bene i video su YouTube e a te dopo tutto non costa niente. Ora iniziamo. In questo video Sara, conosciuta su YouTube con il nome di Lips, mostra sul suo canale YouTube prove paranormali che lei considera reali. Devi sapere che una gran parte dell'attività paranormale che ha registrato è avvenuta proprio all'interno del ristorante di sua proprietà. Durante i 3 anni in cui ha posseduto il ristorante, Sara e la sua collega Alissa hanno visto di tutto. Utensili da cucina che si muovevano da soli e ciotole e coperchi che si spostavano improvvisamente. Ed è stata vista persino una misteriosa figura oscura, in agguato, all'interno della sala da pranzo. Ed anche se è possibile vederla per una frazione di secondo, appare comunque chiaro che questa non è l'ombra di una delle 2 ragazze, per via della strana altezza. Quindi sembra che ci sia davvero qualcosa che si nasconde nel suo ristorante. Sara dice che il nome del fantasma è Benedict, per gli amici Ben. Sara l'ha appreso non solo attraverso la storia del posto, ma anche grazie a sessioni con la Spirit Box eseguite all'interno del ristorante. Fortunatamente, questo fantasma non sembra avere cattive intenzioni. James S. è un uomo del Texas, proprietario di una ferramenta, che ha caricato il seguente video un paio di anni fa. L'uomo afferma di essere stato nel negozio fino a tarda notte per svolgere alcuni lavori di manutenzione e mentre era concentrato sul suo lavoro, improvvisamente un palloncino rosso privo di spago è apparso dal nulla ed ha iniziato a fluttuare proprio di fronte a James. Quest'ultimo è quindi corso a controllare il video della telecamera di sicurezza e dice che, guardando attentamente da vicino nel riflesso del palloncino, è possibile vedere un paio di occhi bianchi e luminosi. James, nella descrizione del video, afferma che il palloncino lo seguiva in un modo che gli ha fatto pensare che fosse interessato a lui. Questo significa che lo seguiva in giro per il negozio ad altezza occhi, come se volesse farsi notare. E James ci tiene a precisare che l'aria condizionata non era accesa e le porte e le finestre erano tutte chiuse. Magari si tratta di uno dei palloncini di Pennywise, il pagliaccio ballerino. Ma che si tratti di qualcosa di paranormale o meno, resta piuttosto inquietante. Il prossimo video è stato registrato e caricato da David Scott, il ricercatore capo di un'associazione che si occupa di studi sul paranormale in Illinois. Nello specifico, ci troviamo a Schiller Park, dove c'è un bar che è stato costruito attorno al 1889. Secondo il proprietario, il bar in passato era un emporio, nel quale era possibile comprare alcol durante il proibizionismo. Una notte, un barista ha scattato una foto dopo aver sperimentato qualcosa fuori dall'ordinario. La foto sviluppata mostra una ragazzina in piedi davanti al bagno delle donne, la quale sembra fissare in maniera diretta la telecamera.
The evening bartender Tammy shared an eerie photo with us that was taken by a frequent customer. The customer had witnessed a shadow figure, so we snapped a photo and managed to capture this creepy image on camera. In this photo, you see what appears to be a young girl looking directly into the lens. She seems to be wearing an old-fashioned outfit. The photo of the little girl had been taken directly outside of the women's bathroom. Our EVP analyst Marsha Mack jumped on the case and headed into the washroom in an attempt to communicate with the girl.
Is there a little girl here? bathroom? There any women in here with me?
Ha catturato l'attenzione di molte persone e non c'era solo la bambina con indosso abiti d'epoca, ma anche qualcos'altro. Infatti, come si vede nel video, l'analista di EVP del team, Marsha Mack, ha tentato di entrare in contatto con lo spirito della bambina apparsa nella foto. Se rallentiamo il filmato girato in bagno, è possibile vedere quella che sembra una piccola persona o anche un bambino che sbircia da dietro la porta. Ma tu, cosa credi? Possibile che la bambina abbia provato a manifestarsi nuovamente? Magari quello che si intravede dalla fessura della porta non è altro che il muro del bagno. Ora proseguiamo con lo youtuber Chris, che ha catturato qualcosa di particolare nelle ultime settimane, mentre era intento ad esplorare i tunnel sotterranei di un vecchio sanatorio, un ex ospedale in cui si ospitavano i malati di tubercolosi nella contea di Stark, in Ohio. Chris iniziò a sentire qualcosa che non avrebbe dovuto, ovvero il rumore di passi. Ma questo è strano se si considera che l'esplorazione è stata effettuata in solitaria. Ma diamo un'occhiata più attenta. È possibile vedere una misteriosa figura camminare a circa una decina di metri di distanza, proprio davanti a Chris. La persona o l'entità sembrerebbe indossare una camicia bianca o forse un camice da laboratorio mentre cammina, fino a che non sparisce dall'inquadratura. Chris inizialmente ha pensato si trattasse di una persona in carne ed ossa e quindi ha continuato a camminare, per poi rendersi conto che quello era un vicolo cieco. Ad oggi sono passate alcune settimane dal momento del caricamento del video e ancora non è chiaro cosa fosse quella figura che si trovava nel tunnel assieme a Chris. Appare ovvio che non si trattasse di un lavoratore, poiché l'edificio venne abbandonato nel 1995. Per alcuni si tratta dello spirito di qualche ex dipendente che vaga per quel labirinto di corridoi sotterranei in cerca di una via d'uscita. Ma tu, cosa credi? C'era un programma televisivo, andato in onda dal 1991 al 1997, nel quale si parlava di criptidi, avvistamenti di spettri ed altro materiale soprannaturale, fino ad includere i visitatori provenienti dallo spazio, insomma tutto ciò che va al di fuori della scienza convenzionale. Nello show c'erano molte interviste con persone che avevano assistito e che in alcuni casi erano anche state rapite da queste entità sconosciute. In questo particolare episodio, i due John chiamano un team investigativo per indagare su questo strano fenomeno. Ma ora guardiamo assieme quanto segue.
These are the pictures that have astonished researchers and left photographic experts baffled. They contain messages and images that seem to indicate communication with spirits.
At first, the photographs frightened me.
You snap one of these things, and when you start asking questions, it starts answering. I don't know how to explain how bizarre that feels.
Never, ever have I come across anything like this at all before.
From their hillside home in Los Angeles, John Huckard and John Matkowski called us about their photographs. It all started less than a year ago, when both men began to sense a strange presence.
I'll be standing there reading something at the desk or something, and I'll feel a hand come up and place it on my shoulder. And of course I turn around to see who it is, and there's nobody there. And then I get sort of a jolt of adrenaline or whatever. It makes me kind of nervous. Another thing I've seen in the last year is I've just seen this sort of free-floating shadow moving across the floor, or the desk, or the wall, or whatever. And when I see it, at first I think it's, well, I'm not actually sure what it is, but it's moving very slow. And then when I try to mask out all the possibilities for what could be causing it, there's nothing causing it. The other thing that I've seen, that apparently I'm the only one who's seen this, is I've seen this old man standing over near the couch. I see him out of the corner of my eye, and it's just there for a hardly tangible instant. It's just there, and then when you look and blink, it's not there anymore.
I felt things like sort of like a sunburn on my arms. It's the only way I can explain it. It was sort of like a tingly, like a sunburn. That's the only thing I can think of, and that's how I usually know if there's some kind of presence here or something.
In an effort to document the shadowy presence, the two men started taking pictures, unsure if anything so intangible could be captured on film.
I took the picture of the bathroom door over by the bathroom and got this really strange-looking thing that was either scary or comical.
The first images they captured had distinct eyes, mouth, and body. But then the pictures took an unexpected turn, and the results shocked everyone. They started receiving answers to specific questions.
We asked him what his name was, just assuming that it's a presence. And we asked him his name, and he answered on the Polaroid. He told us his name was Wright. And we were like, we still didn't believe it. So we just continued asking questions to the middle of the air in the living room, just to nothing. And we'd ask him if he was a good ghost or a bad ghost, just really inane questions to begin with. And he answered friend.
Who or what was causing this communication? When contacted, Polaroid was at a loss to explain the phenomenon. So far, more than 100 photos have been taken. Early writing was in English, but more recent writing has been in Latin.
We have asked him if he died in this house, and his answer was in Latin. He answered that, among other things, he did die in this house.
Once John Matkowski contacted us, we assembled a sightings investigative team to be led by Cary Gaynor, noted UCLA parapsychologist who has investigated more than 800 haunting cases in his 20 years of field work. Cary Gaynor's famous photographic work in the notorious Entity case uniquely qualified him for this assignment.
In my line of work, we spend a great deal of time waiting and watching and wondering and hoping. We don't experience phenomena very often. The people that live in the home are there all the time, and as a researcher, I just come in and leave. But when something happens, it's so exciting, it's so exhilarating. It's a moment of connectedness with something that's just mysterious, exciting, unknown.
Cary Gaynor began his survey using a magnetometer to measure the physical environment.
The reason we're using a magnetometer is just to see if there are any changes in the environment, basically with the onset of the phenomena. So that's the intriguing thing, is to walk the house and get a reading on it, and then if something happens, to have the magnetometer out and see if there's any change in the reading during the phenomena itself.
Since the ghostwriting first appeared, several of John's friends have also been able to capture messages on film. We asked them to participate in our investigation. Researchers carefully documented every step of the process. To minimize the possibility of a hoax, 4 cameras were on site. Sealed film, direct from Polaroid, was checked, rechecked, and logged. Marty Elkin was the first to get an answer.
Are most spirits good spirits or bad spirits?
30 seconds later, this astonishing message appeared.
There are numerous remedial lemures.
Do we have a Latin dictionary? Lemures. In Roman mythology, the night-walking spirits of the dead.
Hello.
The nervous laughter masked the tension and excitement in the room. Since the supposed spirit seemed to want to communicate with Marty, she asked another question.
Right, will you be with them for a long time?
And as the film developed, another answer appeared in Latin.
Marty, what are you thinking right now? How strange this is.
Translated, the message reads, "All this is over now." Edson Williams, a special effects expert from the Brooks Institute of Photography in Santa Barbara, California, was on site to examine the photographs immediately.
These were shots that were taken today. A few minutes ago they were shot and came out of the Polaroid. I actually watched them eject out of the Polaroid, and now I'm in the process of evaluating, trying to decide if they're actually authentic or if they've been manipulated. There was a moment there where I I thought, oh my God, and I was in the Polaroid, which made it even spookier. I'm in the background of the Polaroid, so I have a picture of me with ghosts writing across it. And I really it made me feel that there could be something in the house.
Many control photographs were taken with no results. And then, suddenly, another message.
Ad literal.
Rick, what did you ask?
I asked, what did he think of this in comparison to when he was alive? What do you think of the technology and what's going on?
No, it's not in this dictionary.
Ad literum. Okay, to the letter, exactly.
You have to establish a chain of evidence. You have to be able to observe the phenomena from the beginning to the end. So we have to load the film. We have to show that it's a sealed pack. We have to show that it's our camera. We have to fire it. We have to control the film as it comes out. We have to establish a chain of evidence. And once we do that, I'll feel much more comfortable.
Early camera technology was crude, and hoaxes were commonplace. But with the publication of the famous Lincoln photograph, spirit photography began to be taken seriously. Significantly, virtually every example of ghosts on film has been exposed as fraudulent. Only now has Sightings been able to document what appears to be ghostly images on film in real time, with witnesses present. Here you will see, without editing, the ghost writing phenomenon on film. First, a fresh, sealed package of factory direct film is loaded into John's camera. This camera has been examined by photographic experts who found no obvious evidence of tampering. In this continuous action sequence, John Huckert poses a specific question. A picture is taken, and an answer to the question appears on film while the Sightings cameras roll.
Is he here because you guys, or is he here because this home is his?
Yeah, right. Are you here because of us, or are you here because of the house itself?
Start doing this, Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hold it up.
Hey, Doug, do you know where the pepper went? The little pepper?
45 seconds later, writing appears on the photograph.
What does it say?
Genius loci.
Oh, great.
Who asked the question?
What did you ask?
John asked it, and the other John took it. The question for this picture was, are you here for John or the house? And the answer came out in Latin. We looked it up, and the answer is fairly intriguing. The exact translation is the guardian spirit of a man or place.
Without any obvious signs of tampering, the Sightings team had to ask, could this actually be a guardian spirit communicating from the grave? Or a hoax not yet solved? The camera and the exposed film were immediately sent to the Brooks Institute of Photography. Edson Williams, who had been on site during the investigation, developed one possible explanation.
I scanned in the Polaroid at a high resolution using a digital scanner. When I scanned it in, I zoomed in on the image and noticed there to be individual hair fragments in the text. I increased the contrast and sharpness and edge sharpness of the image, and the hairs became more apparent. It appears to me, under high magnification, that is some kind of fiber, more than likely cotton.
In his lab, Williams demonstrated for Sightings how he believes the writing could have been created.
The initial step was to shoot pulled cotton with a 4x5 camera using E6 film. The next step was to pre-expose the Polaroid film. I removed the cover sheet of the Polaroid pack and inserted the transparency with the text on it. Using a flash pack, I exposed the Polaroid with the text. I removed the transparency, and reinserted the cover sheet, and loaded the film normally.
Although Williams did create writing similar to that of the alleged ghostwriter, his elaborate process took over an hour to complete. It would be difficult to recreate the same process in the house with observers.
It looks like cotton, but then again.
Experts at the Polaroid Corporation in Waltham, Massachusetts, were at a loss to explain the ghostwriting phenomenon. I spoke with photo expert Howard Warzel.
We have never encountered it, and we've been selling film for now 50 years to billions of customers, especially film that was even higher sensitivity than the current color film. It could be what they're saying that it is. It's a possibility that somehow there's a field that they are capturing. Physically, I don't know how they could do that.
The two individuals who brought the story to our attention say they didn't manipulate the film. The sightings people who have been there on site and watched what's happened say that they didn't manipulate the film. Does that put your skepticism at rest?
It depends on where the film pack came from that was loaded into the camera. If the film pack came out of a sealed box from Polaroid that had not had the seal broken, then the answer is yes, that would eliminate my skepticism.
That looks like a fresh. We screened a tape of the continuous action sequence inside the house, and Howard Warzel saw factory-sealed film inserted in the cameras.
They're very accomplished if it's a hoax. If it's real, it's something I've never seen before.
Just on a personal level, isn't there part of you that would really like there to be something unusual going on here?
Oh, of course. I mean, that's the desire to find spirits or design things that we haven't been able to find. It would be an uncovering of a whole new world to people if it were real.
No way any of us can really know, I guess. This sort of has validated some of my beliefs that there is something on the other side, I guess is how you could say it.
For parapsychologist Carrie Gaynor, the investigation will continue.
The potential here is really unlimited. If they can write on Polaroid film while it's inside a camera, what else can they do? I mean, what next? It reaches to the outer limits of our imagination.
Ciò che venne mostrato in questo episodio fu talmente sorprendente che il pubblico dell'epoca faticò ad accettarlo come reale, poiché considerato troppo inverosimile. Mentre invece il pubblico odierno, 25 anni dopo la manifestazione di tali eventi, cosa penserebbe? Anzi, tu cosa pensi? Quello spirito voleva davvero comunicare con i due uomini? O era solo una messa in scena ben congegnata dal programma? Fammi sapere con un commento il tuo pensiero. Io ti ringrazio se hai già lasciato mi piace al video e ti saluto, ma solo per ora, perché noi ci rivediamo domani con un altro episodio horror. Ciao!